Morning Flosstube, my name is Laura and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch and every once in a while something else crafty. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and I hope you like what you see, and we'll hit subscribe and like and just join us every week. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week and hanging out with me. I love talking to you guys every week and just interacting and having all sorts of stitchy fun. This one I think is my Christmas sweater of Christmas sweaters. If you are new, I've been wearing crazy Christmas sweaters every week since Thanksgiving. As you know, I have them. I've had them in my closet for 25, 30 years, so I might as well use them. This one I think would take the cake for a little bit out there. Some of the other ones, you know, are a little bit more subdued, but this one is in your face, just out there. This guy kind of scares me a little bit, so we might just cover him up with my hair. We have kind of a crazy little bear, and then wait, there's more. If you keep going down, we have ornaments, and we have another Santa. He's not quite as scary, and this guy's a little different too. So we have a little bit of a crazy sweater situation going on, but hey, I'm gonna have fun. Can't believe that next week and next Friday is the holiday. I have teenagers who are either going to sleep until 11 o'clock, so I will probably be here next Friday morning because you know what? Why not? Grab myself a cup of tea and chat with you all. It's gonna be quiet. We're not making a big Christmas dinner, so I'm gonna have a very leisurely Christmas morning, and why not share it with you all? All right, I have a lot this week, and I do have something that's non-stitchy that I wanted to show you. You know I'm a paper crafter. That was my main focus for years and years and years. I still do have an Etsy store with my paper crafts, although stitching has taken over my life, so I don't create as much papery goodness as I used to. But I thought I would show you a couple of, it's the same technique, but one is a set of ornaments and one is just a table decoration, all done with paper and a little bit of styrofoam and some pins. The first will be the ornaments, and I have a little tree that I put my crafty ornaments on. This year I stitched a bunch of stitchy ones, but I haven't been out and about to finish anything, so that's my goal for next year's tree. But I have a few that I have every year, tried and true, put on the tree. So this is a paper technique that's very easy. It's basically just folding things of paper and then you just pin them on in a certain pattern and you get this pretty pattern. I used to sell these at craft fairs at one point. I'd have a tree all set up and I'd have different decorated ornaments on the tree for sale. And then this one was a little bit different color with the pink. So we went kind of pinkish. Ooh, the light's not gonna like that. We got a lot of snow, at least a foot of snow yesterday. Well, the night before into yesterday. And so everything is reflecting off the snow. Then a little bit, I like plum in colors like that for some Christmas decorations. And then of course more traditional type of. So the same technique can be used for making a Christmas tree. And that's what I have right here. And so a lot of times if I put out a Christmas village, I may put this like as the town square Christmas tree. Again, it's very similar. This just needs fluffing like a regular tree would, because when I store it, these all kind of move around. Same technique, folded paper, some pins on a styrofoam cone, and away you go. So a couple different paper crafty Christmassy things that I have done in the past. And I've got a list of kind of ornaments that I would like to do at some point down the line. We'll see. There's only so much crafting you can do, right? But let's do a little bit of stitching while we're here. I got a lot of accomplished this week. I got a lot of finishes, and then I stitched on some other stuff as well. So I am really proud of what I did this week. The first one, I'm not going to show you the digital piece because it's finished, so you don't need to. This little guy, look at Santa, isn't he so cute? This little guy was from, what magazine? The Gift of Stitching. And they were giving a free issue, and I think it, again, I say this every week, I think it's still free. It was issue 34, November 2008, and it was a free download, and this guy was in it. So he is stitched on 18 count vintage country mocha, and I used most of the called for it. You know, with the faces, I find them very pinky, and I wanted to make it a little bit more, not quite as pink as this guy, right? We might have to fold him over. I'll show it over here. What I ended up doing, and I seem to be doing with the Prairie Schoolers, is the color that they chart for the face, I use for the cheeks or the nose, and then I use something a little bit more neutrally for the face. And that's what I did here in this case, so that he doesn't have this big bright pink face. Lizzie Kate's and Prairie Schoolers, I seem to find the Santa faces, I've been doing that for those that I've been stitching. But otherwise, the other colors are all the called for. It did have up top here and here a backstitched box line. I chose not to do that. I think it's fine the way it is. Part of him open, part of it kind of boxed off like that. So that's my first finish. This one clearly would be an ornament when I can be out and about and shop for some ornament stuff. So that's finish number 1. I have 4 finishes. I think that's the most I have ever had in a week. Some months I don't even have 4 finishes. Okay, the next one I do want to show you the digital version, even though this is finished, because I totally changed it up. So let me grab my iPad. I like using the iPad because I can talk about a piece and not just have the picture pop up and then leave. So this one is from Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine, and it's the Cardinal that you've seen a lot of people stitch. Cecilia Turner's design. Winter Cardinal Etching. Winter Cardinal Etching. Beautiful, really pretty what she did with it, how she charted it. I just changed up the color scheme a little bit. So here it is. There it is, finished. I had this vision of a dark fabric and then contrast the birch kind of white trees and then have the cardinal just pop. We have just your traditional trees around here, oaks, maples, all that, but we do get a lot of cardinals, and when the male cardinals are there now, especially now with the snow, they really pop out, and it kind of reminds me of that. This fabric is charcoal from DoveStitchDotCom, and then I changed the white or the trees to B5200, and then I took 2 different reds and combined them. The original pattern was charted in a, let me see, I don't want to show the pattern, so I'm not going to go there. It was charted in a fancy floss, and I don't remember which one. But the DMC alternative for that was way pinky, not cardinal color. You could do so many different kind of colors and shades. This just happens to be 2 that I picked. If you wanted to know, I could certainly let you know. But so my cardinal pops, that was the whole vision and idea. Again, this could be an ornament, which would be really nice, given that cardinals generally are seen as a symbol of loved ones who may not be with us anymore. And so that would be kind of nice on a Christmas tree. Or just displayed, I don't know yet. I'm not really sure. So that's that one. We got it done. So there's a bunch of smalls, which is why I have so many finishes, but I do have a big finish. I'm saving that for last. All right, the next one. You know what, it's finished, so I don't think I grabbed the pattern. This one is Coffee Corner from Stone Street Stitchworks. I want to make sure I say that right. Yes, Stone Street Stitchworks. Now, this pattern, this is the holiday version. This pattern has a holiday and a non-holiday in the entire digital PDF. This is what this week's giveaway, I'll be picking the name for this week. I mentioned this last week. So this is what the holiday one looks like. This is done on all the called for colors. And this is an 18 count. They're all 18 in case I forget and you're new. Bronze Age by BeStitchMe. I thought that color really looked great against Stone Street's choices. They're fantastic when it comes to encouraging your own creativity. They'll say, like for this pattern, they said choose what fabric you want, making sure that the white pops. Otherwise, have at it. They do have it stitched up and they have an example, but it's not like, okay, definitely use that. They encourage your creativity. And of course, if you wanted some other colors, you could do so as well. This was a fun stitch, a quick stitch, an easy stitch. They chart their patterns so nicely and big and easy to see. I can't recommend them enough. And so they are actually sponsoring this week's giveaway. They are actually giving it away. So that's Coffee Corner Holiday. All right, that's the 3 smalls. Now my big finish. I want to show you the original because it was originally done as 3 smalls and I put them together. This is the last time I'm going to be showing this. It's kind of sad. Hemlock and Rye Stitchery, Christmas and Nantucket Trio. And it was originally shown as 3 smalls. And on Hemlock and Rye, you can order each one separately or you can just buy the trio. It's really up to you. And there is a border, Christmassy border that she has provided as well, and you just have to download that. And with Gumroad, it's one of those places where she offers them for any price, including free. So you put in your price, and if you want it free, you just put 0, and then you get the download. Or you can put in a certain amount. So that is this. Now, if you weren't with me when I started this in September, I had started this because my husband and I would go to Newport every year, years and years and years and years. And so that's what it totally reminded me of, where we stayed in the area, in kind of that Newport area. And so that's what prompted me to start this. And this is what we have. We have a finish. I love it. I loved every stitch. It's a great chart. She did a great job charting. She did a great job with the colors. Much of it is in DMC. In a few places, especially the houses, she does give you a fancy floss option, although she also gives a DMC blend of 2 different colors option. I did that. I used all DMC on this. I did connect the 3 houses, and so I did have to add, in some cases, a little bit extra fence slatting, and I did keep all the fences white because in couple of these they're charted as ecru. And other than that, in her original, she also makes the houses have kind of shutters using back stitching. But in my mind, this is how I see the houses, so this is how I kept it, because this is in my memory, the memory in my mind. I'll get it. I love it. And the other thing I did change, on the Christmas tree, or on the tree at the end here, she has it charted in a multitude of colors. I chose to keep just red. They could either be considered lights, or they could be considered like a string of cranberries. You think about stringing the cranberries outside, and then it's something for the birds. And that matched all the different red kind of flowers and stuff among all of them. So I used the same color there and just kept it all matching that way. So I am so excited. I don't 100% know what I'm gonna do for finishing on this one yet. Still thinking about it. I spent so much time and I love this pattern so much that I really wanna do it justice and give it a really great finish. But I can't recommend it enough. Julie did a great job charting, and I highly recommend, if you like stitching houses especially, go for it. Go check it out. Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. And I link all of that down below in the description, so you will have a chance to just click a link if you want. And I forgot to say, there is a sale. 2 things I forgot to say. There is a sale, #NantucketTriosal. I didn't do a lot of pictures along the way on Instagram. I'm just not. I'm not really good at Instagram, but I do want to take a picture of the finish. And then also, this is done on Nantucket Sky fabric by Stephanie. And I loved it because it kind of gave me the idea of the sky and the blue sky and outside. And when I do finish it, I am going to keep, I'm not going to make it tight all the way to the top. I think I am going to keep a little bit, especially up top, of extra fabric to kind of give you a scenery kind of vibe and the sky. So that's it. Those are my finishes. I am super excited about all the finishes I got this week. All right, whips, works in progress. I have 2 official works in progress that were carried over from last week. The first one's going to be close to a finish. Fingers crossed this could be a finish next week. January Cottage from Country Cottage Needleworks. This is stitched on the back side of Vintage Country Mocha, the unprinted side. And there we go. Super close. I just have to finish down here in the border and then do my, well, they call for French knots, but colonial knots I think are the way I'm going to go. Somebody mentioned to me that Jan Hicks recently did a tutorial on colonial knots, so I want to check that out, and I know there's a few others. So I figure with all of those, I should be able to do it. And then Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, mentioned that colonial knots are actually easy. She's left-handed, and the way to do it's easier to do them left-handed. And I am right-handed. I stitch lefty. I don't know why. It's just how I picked it up. I eat lefty as well, so I'm kind of undecided. I don't know which one I want. So that is exciting for me to hear too, because sometimes stitching lefty, everything's a little different for me than most people stitching. So I definitely want to look it up now and give them a try. But so close, super close. These all are going to just be finished simply with a little bit of a background fabric behind it, and then I think placed on an easel. I've been stitching these for my mom as a set for her to decorate her apartment. So that's the first work in progress. All right, the next one, oh, I need my iPad again because this one is not finished. This is also from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And this is called Comfort and Joy from Misty Pursel. That was the second of the 2 patterns that blew me away when I looked at this issue. The Cardinal was first, and I just had to stitch that, and then this was a close second. I really liked the colors and the design, and Misty does good birds. She's got a set of 3 out right now that I've been debating on getting. She has some nice ones. And this is what we have. So I got a decent amount done. Last week all I had really was an outline border and a little bit on the second border. And what's funny is when I just had those 2, the outside looked almost purple to me when I was showing this last week. Could have been my lighting too in the other house. But now with all of the colors in there, you can definitely see the red tones. And this is done on 18 count Wisteria gray, and it's to dye for fabrics. One of my newest favorite finds of fabric dyers. It is fantastic to stitch on. It's really quite lovely, and her customer service can't be beat for getting stuff out. And that is that one. I'm really enjoying it. Next I'm going to work on the bird. Super excited. I had to stop for a little bit because I didn't have all the colors of DMC that I needed. So curbside order. Here I came and I got the few colors that I needed, so I was able to keep going. So that is Comfort and Joy. Those were the 2 whips that were carried over from last week. And then I had a new start. This one, remember I talked about this pattern. This is another Stone Street. I'm telling you, I love Stone Street right now. So I was talking about this pattern right here. And you can see that by itself right there. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And I talked about wanting to stitch the house as an ornament, and I still plan to. I just didn't get to it. I was intrigued by this motif up here. And if you see, you get all of these actually when you get this pattern. You use the motif if you want to do it by itself down here, but you also get the star in the stocking. So again, she provides a lot with her patterns. But I saw this one and I saw how it was done on kind of a jewel tone, and I loved it. And so I went through my fabrics to see if I had anything. I thought I might. And I found this 18 count Mystic from Picture This Plus. And that's what we have so far. You know what? I'm going to fold it in half so that you can't see through. And that's it. Love it. I am loving it on this color fabric. I could visualize taking a whole line of jewel tones and stitching this. But then I couldn't decide what I would do with it. I'd either make them as ornaments, individual ornaments, and hang them on maybe like a white tree. I could see making it kind of like some sort of beautiful banner that you could put somewhere. Or even you could make them into little pillows and put them in a bowl. And with all the jewel tones, it would just look so beautiful. So I may end up doing that. I don't have a lot of these deep, rich colors of fabrics, but I have a couple of ideas of where to look for some. And if I do end up doing that, I'll let you know. But it is, again, a lovely stitch. This one would be an easy stitch. It's one color and you just keep at it. If you can sit for long periods of time, you could get this done in a sitting, really. You know I can't because I need to move around. But I think this one is most definitely could be a finish this week. Super excited with it. Love it. And I still do like that house, so I still do plan on working on that one. So that was my new start. And then lastly, 8 pieces I have this week. That's because with the finishes, I would finish some of them and then I would have time, some more stitching time in that day, so I would just jump on some other stuff. This next one is a restart. I had started this last year, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I had 12 Christmas stitches, I think I called it. And not that I wasn't doing Flosstube, so I was just calling it for myself. And I just picked 12. Now back then, and I've explained this before in previous videos, I didn't have the stash of dyed fabrics as I do now. So I am now going back, and some of them I'm keeping on whatever I originally chose, but some I am choosing to kind of change them up a bit. So this was a Lizzie Kate Snow Friends. It is one where you could do, she has like, you could do them all as a set. I'm doing him separately. I originally did him, I looked at this, and I originally chose kind of the same color scheme. This was coffee tea dyed by me, and I went in that route, which is not a bad thing. There's 2 things that bug me now, though. Not bug me, one that bugs me, one that I'm not sure about. When I did this, and you can see it, there's an imperfection with the dyeing. I thought when I did this that his coat would cover it, and it might down here, but it's not going to cover it completely. I realized that as I was stitching this, and then I kind of got upset and frustrated with that, and I put it away. I may just do that little bit outline and see what it looks like, but I know that's there, and that kind of bugs me, so I'm not sure that I want to continue this, because it would kind of always be something there that's what would draw my eye first. The other thing is, this is charted in, I want to say the DMC alternative was something like 712. I don't remember. I'm throwing that number out. Could be completely out wrong, but which was more creamy. It was more of a beigey cream sort of color, which, you know, you don't really notice here. They, of course, would have used fancy floss on that, not the alternative. And it was really reading as beige here, and I wasn't loving that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take new fabric and change up that color for the snow. And this is what we have. This is ice blue fabric from To Dye For Fabrics. And 3865 is what I did for the snow instead of the called for. And I love this color. And you know, because I'm in the back of my mind, I want to do the Brooks books at the 25 ornaments that she has in her freebies section. I've been looking for a blue that would show snow. And I commented on Helen's comment. Helen D, if you watch her, and if you're not, watch her. But she always talks about with her winter that she always wants to find a blue that shows the snow. And so the first thing I thought of when I was doing this was like, oh, I gotta tell Helen that this ice blue shows the snow. Well, the other thing was I've been looking for something because there is a lot of white in the patterns from Brooks Books. And I did want to do them in blue, and I needed to find a blue where the white wouldn't just completely melt in. I think this might be it. And I'm debating in doing it in an opalescent. I think that would be pretty nice and shiny. I don't know yet, because if you put them on a tree and the lights kind of shine off of it, it might be pretty. I don't know, but I love this color, and I think the blue really, or the white really pops off of the blue, and it's a good winter color. So that's what I have so far. This is going to be a quick stitch. This was just a day's worth of work. Besides the 3865, I have not changed any of the other colors. These are all called for the DMC alternatives, not the fancy. And that's my stitching. I got a lot accomplished this week. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed my stitching. The smalls make it fun too, because you can get those finishes and then start something else. Plans, I'm transitioning, as you can see with this guy, into kind of more wintry and away from Christmassy. This, lots of snow, lots of snowmen, kind of wintry scenes. I think that's where I want to go. And there are also a few different patterns that are non-holiday-ish, non-seasonal, non-holiday, just all-purpose general patterns that I do want to start. So I'm going to start looking at fabrics that I want for these things and start making decisions so that come January, I will be able to ready to rock and roll with some of those. So that's the plans. Lots of snowmen, wintry kind of thing, and then completely unseasonable, just general patterns. That's where I'm going. I have no clear plan for 2021, no theme. I won't start the year with specific ones that I'm definitely doing, besides the few in my head that I'm thinking about. I am most definitely doing new starts. There is no new starts for me. Some that I'll know of, and I know designers are going to come out with some beautiful stuff, and I'm going to want to stitch it. I do want to add a few more bigs into my rotation, the bigger patterns, just to have them ongoing. I really enjoyed Nantucket, and by just taking it a bit by bit each week, it was fun. It was fun to do. So that's something that I'm going to keep my eyes out for as well. And that's the stitching. That's what we got. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. I got a piece of happy mail. We didn't even get any mail yesterday, and I knew it. When they said we were getting a foot of snow, I said to my husband, "We're not even gonna get mail that day." And it did get plowed, but they usually skip us on snow days. But I did get a lovely Christmas card from Mandy. Thank you so much, Mandy. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your nice note. I love getting happy mail. Love getting cards. You know that is my favorite thing in the world, to get a card and a nice note. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I am in the studio trying to just come up with a simple design. So you might want to watch your mailbox at some point, because you will get a stamped original from me. All right, that was my happy mail. Shopping. A lot of it's fabric again. I swear I am on a fabric kick just to get all the fabric. I did pick up, I don't know where the other pattern is. I did pick up, I had picked up two patterns. One I can't see right now, from 123 Stitch, and they were having their sale around, was it Black Friday sale? Post-Thanksgiving? I don't know, somewhere around there. I am in the process of this is the second one I've gotten, the Nora Corbett, Minerva. I don't know if all of them are the Bewitching Pixies. The first one might not have been, but I like this series, and the first one goes if it's not part of the actual series. So I am in the process of building up these, and then at some point I would like to stitch all of these. So that was my pattern. And maybe the other one is a small, maybe it's stuck in all this other stuff. If not, it was just a small Lizzie Kate. All right. After Thanksgiving, I get the names different. This one's Dying for Cross Stitch, Kathy. She is on Facebook, and she now has a website. It's not your traditional, here's all the colors, order whenever you want kind of thing. Usually twice a month, might be in December only once because of the holiday. She decides on colors, and it's kind of like her way of a color of the month. She decides on colors. She opens up the website. She also does threads. Not just fabrics. She does dye threads as well. And she says, this is what's available. Pick your color and count. And then it's after 3 days, the website's closed. Every once in a while, she does have ready to ship leftovers. So I every once in a while check out to see what she's got. You know me, I like my 18 count Ada, so that's what I look for. I don't have specific names on these, but I know on the website they were named. This one might have been called Winter something. But this is just a nice little simple, subtle gray, a very light gray. That's the first one. And then the next two are the same color, but one is opal and one is not. So it's kind of cool to see the difference. Look at this blue. I love this. If you haven't noticed, blues and shades of blues are one of my favorite colors just to be around. Like the walls of my house are blue. I like wearing blue. I stitch on blue. In fact, if you look at colors, and I did a lot of color checking when I was doing craft fairs, I used a navy blue tablecloth over my table to kind of, because blue is, I believe, the most common favorite color of people. So psychologically, it drew people in because it was a color they liked. Well, blue always pulls me in because it's a color I love. So this is the non-opal, and that's so pretty. And then this is the same color, 18 count, in opal. And you can see all of the gorgeous sparkle. So if you put them together, because I've never really put the same color together, opal and non, just to see, it does dye slightly differently. I believe this is not much, but there is a slight difference. One is a little bit lighter than the other. But I love, I have like 3 or 4 Santa night sky, Santa and his sleigh. Oh, this smells really good. Santa and his sleigh kind of patterns. And some of them I don't want to do on blue, but I know there's one specifically I want to do like he's in the night sky. And I originally started stitching it. It was one from last year on black. But now that I've discovered these, I really want to make it more where he's in the sky versus just on the black fabric. So one of these are probably going to be my choice for that. And that will be a restart probably next year now. I don't think this year I'm going to start any more, although it would be nice to have a big Christmas piece kind of to work on and dig into. I know I have Kringles, I know, and I'm not abandoning it. And I have thought about for 2021 trying to do maybe like 2 Brooks books a month, and that would get me by Christmas time almost all of them done. I guess I have to get the fabric if I'm going to do that. But that's a thought too, because I do like stitching Christmas and I do want to continue it throughout the year. So that's a possibility. I'm telling you, I can't make plans because I change them. I change my mind all the time. And then after I talked to you all, I decided I wanted to do another To Dye for Fabrics order before she goes on Christmas break and holiday break. And she might be, I think at this point, I don't know if you can, well, you can always order, but I think at this point, the shipping cut off before the holidays is done. So if you want to get your stuff before Christmas, which anywhere you're not going to get it now from any hand dyer, but if you want to put your order in, I think she's coming back. She says it on the website, maybe the 28th. This took me, she shipped this within a week. She is by far right now one of the fastest shippers out there. This is Barely Beige. I wanted to get a few more neutrals, so you're going to see neutrals here within. So that's Barely Beige. Now along those lines, I also had picked up what was called Beach Sand. So that's what this one looks like. Really, really pretty. If you put these two together, you can see the difference. So we have Barely Beige and Beach Sand. And these are all 18 counts that you're going to see. Then this one is called Mystic Gray. I love that. And I have it might be a little bit too dark, but I have an idea. If one doesn't work, there's another idea I have for this one. So Mystic Gray, really pretty. you know, again, I can't be without blues. So this one is called Fawn. This is similar to the ice blue. Let me see if I can find that one in this pile of stuff. And I can kind of show you. You know, I put the pattern down. What did I do with it? I have no idea what I did with it. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. All right, so this one is Summer Storm, and this one is Ice Blue. So you can see a little bit of the difference. One has definitely got kind of a bluer, and this is lighter kind of. So depending on what kind of shade of blue, she has lots of blues. And what's nice is not all of them, but many of them, she lays a skein of DMC down and gives you an idea of what shade it is. And then the last one I got is called Fawn. And it's almost peachy, almost a little bit. I can't quite tell you the color scheme, but it's very pretty. Depending on the color or the light it's in, you can see a bunch of different colors. So that's it. So some neutrals and some blues and grays, which some people would consider neutrals as well. So, but that's what I wanted to focus on. And again, very quick. Now, obviously, she can't control the post office, but her shipping from when I placed the order to when I got the notice that it was shipped out was very, very quick. She is wonderful for that. Obviously, I don't always need something right away, but if I know that I want to try a color for a pattern I want to try right away, she's going to be one of the first places I look at because I don't have to wait 8 weeks for something to ship. So that's it. All right. That's all I bought, which is enough. It's enough. I don't know, you know, I have fabric of the months coming. My poor color and cotton, it shipped on, it was the November color and cotton, and it shipped on December 2nd. And no, I still don't have it, although I think I'm supposed to get it the next day or two. It sat somewhere on a truck for 11 days because it was scanned out of Springfield on the 7th, and then it just moved again the 18th, which would be today. I just got, I asked for notifications because it was stuck and it wasn't moving. So for 11 days, it probably stayed on a truck somewhere. So it's been sitting for quite some time. I don't know when BeStitchMe's Fabric of the Month is shipping, maybe soon. And then I recently just joined Mystic Fabrics, and so she said she just shipped hers out this week. So maybe next week, depending on the post office, I might have some Fabric of the Months to show you. And I am keeping Color and Cotton, BeStitchMe, and Mystic Fabric for Fabric of the Months next year. I like that option because sometimes it gives me things that I wouldn't maybe necessarily choose, but I really like, and it helps build up the stash since I have not been restitching for as long as many of you have. You know, when I just discovered hand-dyed fabrics this past year in 2020, I'm still building up my stash, and I always have this idea in my head of what I want to use, and so it's nice to have a bunch of different things so that when I go to check it out, I might have what I need. So that was the shopping. All right, giveaways. I do want to remind Fran Cohen, I chose you last week for the Santa Trio. You will have one more week to get back to me. Please either send me an email with your address. Look below, you'll see the Gmail account, or you can DM me on Instagram. Again, my account is down below, Paper Laura. Either way, if I don't hear from you by my next video, which will most likely be next week, I will pick another name and it will go to somebody else. Okay, next we're going to choose the winner for the Stone Street. Let's see if I have it so you can see what the coffee corner, this digital pattern, and you will get the holiday version and the non-holiday version because it's all in one. I loved hearing about all your cookies. So fun. I had to Google some because I didn't know what they were, and they sound delicious and fantastic. And it's so funny because I love all these different types, but I don't eat a lot of sugar. Usually at Christmas time is one of the few times we'll cook some stuff. So I'm always like, oh, I like that, and oh, I like that, and oh, I like that. But I'm like, oh, I don't eat a lot of it though, so I have to plan it. Maybe throughout the year, every once in a while, strategically eat some sugar. All right, but thank you so much for playing along. And the winner is, let me pick one of the names out of the, whoop, there we go. Long Dog Stitcher, Jenny, you won. So if you could send me your email address, I have been given permission by Stone Street. They sponsored this. I have been given permission to send along to you one copy. Written permission by Stone Street to pass along to my winner. They know what I'm doing, and that's what they gave permission for. So let me have your email address, and I will send that to you. All right, this week we have a little guy. Since I am starting to focus on winter and snowmen and all that, I thought this little guy, let me see, do I have a piece of paper to back it with? I don't, he's small, but this little guy right here, this needle minder, oops, there we go. Look at that little guy, isn't he so cute? So this is this week's giveaway, this needle minder. I believe I picked it up from Mad from Minders. She has a ton of them, of different types. And what I would like to know this week, since we are at the home stretch of holiday decorating and I'm stitching multiple things that are ornaments, I'm going to start this as Christmas, but I want to branch it out because I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, and I want to hear from you. Even if you don't, I always want to include you. What is, if you were to look at what you've hung ornament-wise, or even decoration, if there's something else and it's not a specific ornament, what's your favorite? If you go to your Christmas tree, or you go to your mantle, or you go wherever you go, what is the favorite ornament or item that every year it is the thing you love the most? It means the most, maybe it's the most sentimental, brings the most memories. Tell me about it. If you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or I am sorry, I don't know all the holidays as well as I should. Whatever it is, if there is something that goes with that has special meaning that you put out, whether it's an ornament or a decoration, please tell us about it. Now, everybody can do that, please, because I'd love to hear about what means something to you. And if you want to enter for this little guy, just somewhere in your comments, say the word Frosty. Okay, so everybody please, what's your favorite ornament, decoration, whatever it happens to be, and add the word Frosty to your comment if you would like to be entered to win this little guy. And I will pick that next video. All right, oh, and don't forget, see I have my little notes down here, so every once in a while you'll see me look down. I think it's good through the 31st, Jubilance Lane. I have all the information right down below in the description box, jubilancelane.com. She has a coupon just for you all. If you put in Stitching by the Shore in the coupon code area, you will get $10 off your order. And she has items that are for sale, and if they're for sale, the $10 comes off that sale price too. So go for it. She's got great customer service. I know some people have mentioned that they've gotten things and they were amazed at how quickly she had packaged them out. Shipping now could be stalled a bit, but hey, it'll be something that'll be a nice little new present in the new year if the post office really drops the ball. But I'm always up for a $10 coupon. So thank you from Jubilance Lane for offering that. Other than that, what are we doing? Wrap up life. If you don't care about life stuff, have a great week. We obviously made it back safe and sound from Delaware, and I am, of course, now doing the 2-week quarantine again. Of course, I'll probably leave before the 2 weeks are up potentially, but you know, hey, whatever. I can go to the post office, I can go to the pharmacy. I just send the kids if I need to go somewhere else, or curbside pickup. Curbside pickup is the new best thing to come out of 2020, and quite frankly, I think it should stay forever, because sometimes I just want to go and pick up and go again. So love it, love it, love it. We're just gonna be the 4 of us here for Christmas. I said to the kids, we can do something different for Christmas dinner because it's just the 4 of us. So we're gonna think about that and get creative maybe and figure out what would be just a fun family thing for us to do with the 4 of us. Other than that, Meg is finishing finals this week, so this morning. She is currently in her last final, and I think she will be thrilled when she is done and will be over and done with that and can wrap up the semester. Connor has classes through the middle of next week, but he's virtual at the moment, so he rolls out of bed about 10 minutes before class starts. Pretty much, I don't even know what he's wearing. Probably sweatshirt and sweatpants and probably whatever he rolled out of bed of. And he's just finishing up with that and sending out college stuff. He's got a few more college applications to send out and hearing back. He's been accepted into 2 colleges, so we're excited because he has a place to go next year. So fingers crossed that he gets some more good news on that end. Other than that, there's really not much. I'll be stitching this week and just getting my stitchy vibe on. And like I said, Christmas will be quiet. So it'll be a little less crazy this year. We're gonna make the chocolate cookies, crinkly ones with the candy canes in, crushed up candy cane this week. I think that more sugar. That will be this week's activity, and just kind of fun. This week we don't go crazy. We make gingerbread houses, but we use graham crackers and frosting, kind of like they did in elementary school. My years of being a room parent came in handy because I was like, ooh, that's a great idea. So we do that, and then the kids went, and I sent them and said, go buy whatever candy you want to put on it. So they had a little candy shopping spree and a candy fest on the little houses. So we did that this week, which was a lot of fun. They might be teenagers, but they still get into that kind of stuff, and it was fun. It was a fun family activity. So that's about it. I hope you all are well. I hope you're safe and you're keeping yourself well. We're getting there. But I am thinking about you, and I love talking with you all and interacting, and you, my stitchy friends, mean so much to me. So I appreciate you more than I can ever tell you. Thank you so much for being here with me, for me, just together with me. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic week, and just take care. Happy stitching.